Hi guys, Chart Guy Charlie here doing another video, this time on MARA. Before I get started, I want to take a little time to give some trading advice. I want to give you 3 points of advice. The first one being trading plan, the second, money management, and the third, find a pattern that works for you. So, number one, trading plan. Have a trading plan for every stock you get in. You can have a general plan of being a swing trader or a day trader, but you can also be fluid with that. You can be a day trader on one particular stock, but maybe another one you're buying with the plan on that one to be swing trading it, maybe holding it for a couple days to a week, maybe 2 weeks. So you can be flexible, but with every trade you enter, make a note of what your plan is on that particular stock. All right, so um, that's number one. Number two is money management. So as you enter, whatever your plan, whether it's a day trade or a swing trade, you're going to have a stop limit. You're going to decide what your risk is, how much you're willing to lose based on your account value and your, management of risk, how much you are willing to lose on that particular trade or on a particular day. Enter that in, give it a hard stop, not a mental stop. Actually, enter it in after you buy it, and also have an idea of what your profit target is that you're shooting for, based on what it is you're, in relation to your risk. 1R, 2R, whatever, 3R, 4R. There's a lot of videos that you can watch that go into depth about that. Or you can base it off the chart pattern, like where you're trying to retrace back to. Where do you think the stock's going to get to? And maybe that wants to be your profit target. Especially if you're swing trading, you may be holding that and looking for a longer term and a higher target than someone who's day trading, obviously. Okay, so that's number two. And number three, find a pattern that works for you. So what's going to work for you? I can't tell you. You're going to have to figure that out. And to figure that out, when you start a journal, when you take a trade, make a note of the entry, make a note of your stop, your target, and then where you got out. Did you make a profit or a loss? And make a note of the type of trade you took. So was it a breakout? Breakout of a cup and handle, breakout of a consolidation? Was it a stock that you bought on a gap up on really good news that came out that day and you're playing the momentum? Is that the type of stock you played? Is it a stock that you got on some sort of a pullback, or maybe a massive bottoming day, where a stock is kind of capitulated to the point where you're trying to call a bottom? Whatever pattern you're buying on, write that down, and then at the end of a month period or 2 month period or 3 month period, look back and where did you make your profit on what type of trade, and you'll probably find that something's working for you and something's not, or several things are not, because I figured that out for myself. And you'll probably notice that what I tend to put up is a lot of these stocks like I have up here today. MARA is in a, I would call this a transitional buy setup. It's one of my favorites. It has a lot of potential as a day trade or a swing trade combination. If you look at HHT, it looked a lot like this one when I did a chart analyzation of it. And it's moved up like 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row now. It really took off. So these stocks can be very profitable in this stage where it's transitioning from a downtrend to an uptrend. And so I encourage you to take a look at that. It's a previous video that I did, HHT. They don't all work. That's why I have a stop in place. And don't buy any stock just because I'm telling you to. Do your own chart analysis yourself. So anyway, let's get into this one, MARA. So let's talk a little bit about, in general, why we'd want to buy any stock. So what I want you to start thinking about before you enter a trade, how many reasons can I find to support my entry? How many reasons can I find to support my entry? You don't want to buy a stock just on one reason. All right, one reason is not enough. 2 reasons is still not enough. 3 reasons, okay, you're starting to convince yourself. 4 reasons is good. 5 reasons is better. 6 reasons, ideal. 7, more ideal. So either write down why you're thinking of getting into a stock, or mentally think about it. Regardless of whether this is happening in real time or if this is happening, post-market like we're doing now, we're analyzing the stock and we're physically writing down the reasons to enter this trade possibly for Monday. So you can do this ahead of time, or you can do it in real time, because the same reasons are going to apply in the middle of a day as you're analyzing a daily chart, because these patterns work for daily charts just as well as they do for when you're intraday. I'm talking you can find a stock that does this same pattern where it goes up, goes down, and then breaks this downtrend. In other words, right in an intraday. I see this all the time. Okay, so these patterns work on a monthly, on a daily, on a weekly. It doesn't matter what your time frame is, but you're using multiple time frames to support your buy entry. Okay, that's the key. So right now we're using the larger time frame and to look at this stock MARA, and you'll notice right off the bat it is in a long-term uptrend with a quite severe pullback. Okay. And I'm going to give you my first reason why I like the stock, and that's because, number one, it's in a long-term uptrend, and I like the fact that it's pulled back at 50%. It's a 50% retracement from here to here. We're right here. So this was about $1. This was $5, and we're at $2.50 right now. That's a 50% retracement. That's an ideal place to get back in. The stock has rested long enough from the big run. It's rested long enough. It's pulled back enough, but it hasn't pulled back so much that it makes you question the strength of the stock. If the stock pulled all the way back to here, yeah, it could bounce off of the $1, but this makes you question the strength of the stock. How much are you going to, if you're going to buy it here, do you really expect it to get back to here? Well, it might go back there someday, but it's not going to go back there rapidly. So you may want to lower your expectation to somewhere in here or here. Okay. Whereas in here, if this stock starts to move back up like it's trying to, you can expect it to get back to here and maybe even break it. You can at least expect it to get to this point here where it had previous resistance. Okay, so sorry for all these lines, but you see what I'm trying to say. So that's reason number one. We have a 50% long-term retracement. That's one reason to buy the stock. Is that enough? No. We need multiple reasons to buy to support your entry, to make you feel good about it. So reason number two would be the trend line break. I drew a trend line from the top. You don't see it very well in this. It doesn't represent well in this long-term time frame, but you'll see it when I drill down into a smaller frame. But basically, we broke the trend line, the downward trend. That's significant. That would be my second reason. The third reason would be price support. we found price support right here, which we had back here. When you break a support level, you know, here with this big, when you have this big gap here, the point at which you gapped up from becomes strong support. That's why this white line is on here. You have strong support where you gapped up from a previous gap from. Okay, this line is on there because there was a previous pivot here. Okay, on a pullback. So those are long-term price support levels. So we found long-term price support. That's reason number 3. If this stock were to go lower, I would expect it to find strong support at this other long-term price support level of $1.50 some. Okay, so we can also see reason number, I would call it number 4 now. And that would be this last day, which would be Friday. What day would that be? Let me lead you astray here on the day. Friday, today is Saturday, August 29th, 28th, so the 28th, Friday the 28th, the stock moved up on higher volume, you'll see here, than the previous 2 days on declining volume, both red days. So that's significant. That's showing signs that buyers are coming back into the stock. It's even higher than this previous day, where the stock found the bottom and rallied up and closed it. It's near the high of the day. So increasing volume shows increasing support. Buyers are taking control of the stock now. They're like, okay, 250 is it. We see this as an opportunity. So they're starting to move the stock in a new direction. So that's reason number 4. So that's pretty good. 4 reasons is, you know, you're starting to get convinced now that this is a good entry price. So now we're going to drill down here into a smaller time frame. Let's get that trend line up. So here you can see, let me zoom out a little bit more. All right, so you can clearly see where we started this at that peak. And you want to draw these trend lines where they're right on top of where a stock, the top of a candle, has tried to bust through, which would be this point here and this point here. And then you find yourself over here where it broke through. So just showing you that trend line. I know that's already been a reason. That's one of our four reasons. But I just wanted you to see that on this time frame. You can see what my next reason, 5, is going to be the double bottom here and here. Okay, there's a double bottom right there. So let's zoom in on that. Okay, that's going to show up pretty well right there. Okay, so anytime you have a possible double bottom, to confirm that, you want to have, here's the original bottom. Here's where I'm calling the second bottom. In order for that to be confirmed, you have to break the neckline. The neckline is the high point between the two. So here's your bottom, and there's your neckline right there. You have to break that. So you have to be up here somewhere. You have to just get slightly above that. Even if it just goes a little above and pulls back again and then starts to do this, okay? You have to put in a higher high than the neckline. These can be equal, that doesn't matter. This can even cut below a little bit, that doesn't matter. This is above, that's ideal. The fact that you break the neckline is more important. You can argue that this was the high point, but I'm going to say no. You could argue that we hit the equal point of the neckline, but I'm calling that the neckline. You can argue with me about that, but I found that it really bounced off of that, and this was more of an anomaly. Okay, so I'm saying that this broke it and on considerable volume right here. So that would be reason number 5, the confirmation of a double bottom. The bottom, the retest, and the break of it. All right, moving on. Let's see where we're at now after the break of the double bottom. Let's go to a smaller, we'll go to a 3-minute. So after we moved up, you'll see the move from here to here, to where we're at is an ideal place to get into the stock. As I said before, on the long-term chart, we like where we're at because of the 50% retracement. When you break out of a double bottom, the pullback, the first pullback, you'd like to see it be about 50% between the top and the previous low. And this previous low was higher than the first bottom. So higher low, higher high. This is another higher low here. Okay, right there. Now the stock found support right here from this little bottoming tail there, and it tried to rally, came back down. It tried to cut through that, but strong bottoming tail there held and basically pulled it right back up to this area right here. The stock is really at 2.5 as far as support goes. It does not want to break 2.5 support wise. That's a little above 50%, which would be about here, which is great. This is an ideal place, in my opinion, to enter the trade. Right where we ended the day would have been a really good place to get into it, or if it opens around that area, if it opens anywhere in this area, I'd say it's a great place to enter the trade if it were me. You could decide exactly where to get in and exactly where to put your stop, but that's up to you. In any case, we're hoping that this stock moves up and takes out this high right here, and if it does, that would confirm that this stock is in fact in a new uptrend. Until that happens, it's not officially in a new uptrend, but it's definitely transitioning. It's a transitional buy setup, and I like to buy them in this stage right in here. I find it very profitable. Oftentimes I get out of these stocks way too early. They run up for 5-6 days, sometimes 3 days with a 1 or 2 day pullback, and another 3 or 4 days. They can really move from this area. So I often make the mistake of getting out a little too early, but in any case, that's going to have to be your decision. I would definitely put a stop on it down in this area here. I wouldn't want to see it go below that. If it opened up near it, if this opened up and happened to be down in this area here, it wouldn't be a terrible place to get in with a stop here, because it could actually retrace a little bit more. There's no reason why it couldn't bounce off a 60% retracement level down in this area here. Obviously over here, Monday morning. Okay, so there you have it. We've got 7 reasons to buy this stock. I'm not saying you should buy it. I'm just saying that this is the type of play you want to look for. You want to be into a stock that gives you multiple reasons like this, 6-7 reasons like this one, So do your own chart analysis. Try to apply this to any chart that you might be looking at, and start writing down the reasons to buy it. And if you don't come up with enough reasons, then start to question why you're getting into it. All right, so happy trading, everyone, and good luck.